the announcement page. They have all sorts of benchmarks here, but I'll try to condense this for an overview. Before we get into the test, let me give you a quick rundown on what GPT 5.4 actually is. GPT 5.4 dropped a few days ago. OpenAI is calling it their most capable and efficient frontier model for professional work. It comes in three variants: Standard, Thinking, and Pro. Standard, which is available via API and Codex; Thinking, which is a reasoning model which is available to all ChatGPT subscribers; and Pro, which is the high-performance version reserved for ChatGPT Pro at $200 a month and enterprise customers. This you can access from the API as well. As you can see here, this is my Obsidian system that handles mentions like, at Claude, can you research and create thumbnail for this benchmark comparison, and it creates these diagrams for me. This is real production system that runs my everyday activities. SweBench Pro, that is 57.7 as compared to Claude Opus 4.6. Computer use, which is the OS World computer use. GPT 5.4 scores 75% on OS World verified. That is a 28-point jump from GPT 5. So this is my community AI makers. I'm adding all this Claude Code training and all the custom skills that I used to run my own business: lead outreach, email personalization, LinkedIn outreach. All that is available there, and I am continuously updating it, and you can check it out. If you're a business owner growing with AI, building a SaaS, I'm also teaching vibe coding over there. Be sure to check it out. All the resources attached with this video and the previous videos that I've done are available there already. You also have access to a ton of innate and automations. Check it out. And it usually surpasses human expert, which is basically saying that if a human were to do the exact task, comparatively how accurate that is. Human expert sits at 72.4. One of the headline features: the model can operate computer, click buttons, navigate apps, which was already present, but it's become better than most humans can in a benchmark sitting. And the context window also is 1 million tokens now. That's the largest context window OpenAI has ever shipped. Now, Claude Opus 4.6 also supports 1 million tokens in beta, so it defaults to 200K. You can access these 1 million tokens from the Claude Code app and Claude Desktop. So on context window, they're actually matched now. Both frontier models can offer 1 million tokens when you need it, but by default, it is 200K. Tool search is a new feature. This is interesting for developers. Instead of loading all your tool definitions upfront and burning tokens, basically all the tool definitions in the old way were getting injected into the system prompt. That wastes tokens a lot. Now it is more like the skill system, where it gets the metadata, a lightweight list of tools, which reduces token usage by 47%. They have a new benchmark called GDP Val that tests across 44 professional occupations, which actually contributes to the US GDP. GPT 5.4 scores 83%, matching or exceeding industry professionals. That is a 12-point jump from GPT 5.2. All of this you can see from the OpenAI release page. SweBench Pro, tool use, agentic tool calling, improved web search, steerability is another feature where you can affect the thinking in the middle of thinking. You can add more context as the model is thinking and steer the thinking with the additional context added. In coding, SweBench Pro GPT 5.4 scores 57.7%, Claude Opus 4.6 80.8%. That's a 23-point gap. And also they are using SweBench Pro, not SweBench Verified. Both are different metrics, I think. But people are reporting that it is actually one of the best models out there. On the benchmark that matters most for what we do, writing real production code. When it comes to agentic coding, there is a lot more that adds up. For example, usage of tools, and with the new tool search option and reduced token usage, most of us are using agentic coding. Those all adds up to better results. Looking at this alone is not that meaningful. These are the costs for API. Not that much difference between 5.2, where output tokens were $14 for output. Now it has jumped to 15, but token usage has been reduced a lot. So theoretically, it should be much more efficient. GPT 5.4 standard runs from $2.50 per million input tokens. Claude Opus 4.6, $5 input, $25 output. So GPT 5.4 is roughly half the price per token. That matters when you're running an agentic system that chews through tokens all day. And in a leaderboard, Claude Opus 4.6 is still up there for text, and for coding also 4.6 thinking, that is the best coding model out there. But GPT 5.4 just released and it's in preliminary. You can see here GPT 5.4 high, preliminary. Score is based on pre-release testing and may shift as community prompts. Now there's not enough data to determine this scorecard yet to evaluate evaluate that correctly. GPT 5.4 was submitted under the code name Galapagos. Scores aren't published yet. Well, the pre-release scores are there on Arena Leaderboard. 5.4 is genuinely impressive. Cheaper tokens, massive context window, strong computer use, but on raw coding ability, Claude is still ahead. Let me show you what exactly I am testing against. This is my Obsidian Vault. I am reading the script from my Obsidian Vault. I have the memory, inboxes, projects, areas, and various resources, marketing research, and everything else, SEO, any byproduct that is created by advancing my projects here. This is my current video project right here. Everything is handled by agents, constantly being updated by agents in the background. This Claude code based, used to be an A10. We are going to test this against 5.4. The system is the same, but we are going to use Codex app instead of Claude code. The Vault has projects, areas, resources, and archives. Everything my AI agents do is persisted here. Project files track every decision, every activity log entry, every piece of research. When I wake up tomorrow, the agents pick up exactly where they left off, or I can simply have them run in the background while I'm sleeping. So this is the general architecture of my system. That is the memory. Claude Code also has its own memory system, but I am not too reliant on that. I'm also using a feature called as agent teams from Claude Code, wherein I have a lead agent that spawns teammates to deal with different tasks. And I also have this Telegram bot integration. It's doing some research and creating thumbnails for my school community. And this is a skills directory, over 30 skills. That is my cursor really. Claude skills directory, all my skills are here. Each one is a skill MD file that defines a complete workflow. This is the directory structure. There's a trend scanning skill that uses YouTube data API to find outlier video and different metrics to identify the high performing videos based on data. There's an outreach skill that manages a full cold email pipeline. CSV leads in, researches, scoring, qualification, product matching. It sends these emails via SMTP and also follow-up timers. And the teammates does this autonomously. There's a thumbnail skill, Reddit marketing skill, job search skill, website directory generator skill, a PDF creator that sends me PDF reports in my Telegram. And this is what makes the whole system transferable. The skills are just markdown files which can be ported, and this can be tested against our GPT 5.4 harness, which is the Codex app that we are going to use. This is how I'm linking my Claude skills to be available in Codex. In the home folder, similar to having a .claude folder, I have a .codex folder, and if I list everything in that directory, which you can do with ls-l command, you can see that the skills directory is actually a symbolic link to Claude skills. And so if I go into that directory, list all the skills available there, this is the same skills available to Claude Code. And if I open up my Codex app, go to my skills here, you can see that all the same skills are available and enabled here in the Codex app. This is how we are going to test the creation of a SaaS the same way that I do with Claude Code agent teams and see how it performs. So I built a review reply in a previous video using Cloud Opus 4.6 after some market research. I'll give the video which one I'm talking about in the description. Now we are going to build it again, the same SaaS, different engine, and see how that performs. I've asked Claude here to create a new project for that. This is the same SaaS that we are going to create. Let me quickly show you what Claude had created previously. So this is a SaaS app that Claude agents had previously identified as an opportunity and had created basically for local businesses to respond to reviews on Google Maps. If I say something like very bad experience and the business name as Mia's Pizza, this is sort of manual, but it can be integrated into Places API. But this is an MVP that it had built. Generate a reply. It has now generated a reply. We are truly sorry to hear you had a very bad experience at Mia's Pizza. This is not a standard of service we strive to provide, and we would like the opportunity to make things right. Please reach out to our team so we can address your concerns directly. We're going to try to create the same app using GPT 5.4, and for that, this is the micro-SaaS sprint report it had generated. It is probably easier to read the PDF that it had generated and send to my Telegram. What it had done was the whole pipeline. I'm not doing the whole pipeline of finding the opportunity and prioritizing and recommending which one to build. It had then identified this as a Chrome extension. We are going to build it as a web app the same way we did with Claude Code. And for that, I had instructed Claude to create a project. This is the project. This is the live demo build for the GPT 5.4 video. Success criteria, we have the requirements written out here as well. Landing page, business search, review fetching, AI response generation, SEO content, authentication and persistence. And I also given the tech stack here, Next.js deployed to Cloudflare pages, Convex for backend database. I'm also giving the market research from which we had identified that as an opportunity. Build a working web application that helps local businesses respond to Google reviews using AI. We have some success criteria. This is generally how I like to give the build, basically outcome outcome-based success criteria and requirements. Landing page that explains the product, shows pricing, converts visitors. Users can search for their business by name. App fetches real Google previews for that businesses via Google Places API. Users can review and generate an AI reply. AI replies are professional, on brand, and contextually appropriate. I'm also going to say use front-end design skills and other relevant skills. Load them before the build. All the API keys are given in skills.env.local. Copy them to the apps.env.local. Places API key also given in this env local file, which can be copied over. Moment of truth. This is our Codex app. We are going to operate from the same folder, local workspace, where my Obsidian is running from. So this is not a code folder. This is a project management folder, which has symlink to code. This is the symbolic link to the code directory. And all the projects, what governs this code is sitting outside of the code. And that is the project that we are going to execute. I'm going to simply copy the project file name here and then go to Codex. I haven't done this before, so I don't know what's going to happen. And I am also on the $20 plan, whereas my Claude code is on a $200 max plan. So I'm not really sure whether it will execute the whole thing. So we will see. It is supposed to be token efficient. So we will see how far we will get. And we will open a new conversation there. And I will say, let's do voice here. Can you implement this SaaS given in this project? I think I can do mention, review, reply, and then I'm going to add that. I'm also going to choose fast will actually be more expensive. Maybe I will do extra high here because that is the model that is performing well according to other reports. GPT 5.4. I am considering whether to use standard or fast. Let's just keep it at standard. I'm also putting that to full access so that I don't have to constantly click on allow for every tool call. I'm also going to use a plan mode, I think, so that we can get a good app. And I'll also say update the project file as you work through. The code folder is a symlink in the local workspace directory. Create the new app as one of the apps in the apps directory, in the monorepo, in the code directory. And there's steerability here as well, so I can actually add. This is one of the features. While it is thinking, I can actually add it. There may be already a review reply app. You should not modify this. You should create a new review reply app in the apps directory, because the other one is being tested with a different model. Create a separate Next.js convex project as a different app. And I can send that. Steer already had come back saying that the correction matters. I'm regrounding on that existing stays untouched. I'm also saying do not refer to the existing review reply app either for foundation. Steer, let's see what it does, and may take a while. I'll also say there are plenty of skills available to you, so load these skills at the appropriate times when you plan and when you implement. Send that, steer. It is also reading from the PDF report here. It's asking me some questions. Review which monorepo app slug should I plan around the new review reply build? Review reply GPT 5.4. What should the implementation pass include? MVP SaaS, demo first, full GBP auth. We'll just go with MVP and see what it comes up with. How strict should be the deployment plan about Cloudflare hosting mode? I think we'll just do recommended. It's actually pretty fast. Before I stopped using Codex because it was really slow, but 5.4 seems to be really fast. And I wonder if it would be even faster if I had enabled the fast mode here. So I'm going to leave it alone for a while and we'll come back. Okay, so it has come back with a plan. Let's see what it had done. Search web for, went through the documentation for developers. I'm only filling in the keyword targets now. So the SEO pages in the plan map to the actual research report instead of generic blog ideas. We will see. Let's read the plan. Expand the plan. Create a new monorepo app at apps review reply as GPT 5.4 as a sibling app. Do not touch the existing review reply code. Build the MVP SaaS scope you selected, landing page, Google Business Search, review fetch, AI reply generation, convex persistence, SEO pages, and a live Cloudflare deployment. Keep the implementation scope to a new app plus its convex functions. Reuse shared patterns from the monorepo where they already exist, especially repo convex auth. During implementation, update review reply, the MD project file that we had given in the prompt. This will be interesting because Claude Code actually doesn't follow it entirely. Well, 80% of the time. Sometimes it forgets to update the project file. For that, I have this compliance check prompt that gets injected into the Claude sessions team lead every 15 minutes to realign Claude Code agent actions. But we'll see how it performs. Add the chosen architecture decisions before coding and append activity log entries after scaffold. Auth data, core workflow, SEO, deployment milestones. This is a lot of work. I think I'll get rate limited. Implementation changes. Next.js app router, Vercel AI SDK with Minimax M2.5. That is a very good model actually. New app name slug, production host name, add Cloudflare OpenNext config. I don't know what that is. Claude Code actually doesn't do that. That is new. Wrangler or Toml, that actually happens. Use convex, implement next auth, magic link through repo convex auth, login, check email, create app local convex auth functions and these tables. Review snapshot, brand profiles. I'm not going to go through that. I will let it decide product flow, landing page, value proposition, paying pro solution, framing, pricing defaults, dashboard, business search input, search results from Google Places. This is actually a very comprehensive plan that it has done. Could be better than Claude Code because what Claude Code had done was just not properly connected to Google GMB, which is the Google business listing, server-side integrations, also planning to do SEO deliverables for SEO. It's also doing programmatic template pages. It's actually pretty comprehensive in their plan. I think I like it actually so far. Unit tests. This is not usually done by Claude Code unless prompted. It doesn't actually do unit tests. Integration UI tests, I may actually switch to, if this works correctly, I may actually switch to GPT 5.4. Acceptance checks. So Convex is the sole database. External docs as well. I'm just going to, yes, implement the plan and see what happens. We may run out of tokens. Back to the app. It has started working at 5:10, already half an hour. It did create a lot of files here. Context is compacted here, so I don't think it is using actually the 1 million context window here. We probably had to enable that. We have 4 to-dos in this task list here, and it's still at the first one, and we are already at about, last time I checked, it was over 90% weekly usage for my $20 plan. We may actually run out of tokens for this one. Looks like it is at the deployment stage. There's a bug here. I can't actually select local view. The rate limits could be viewed here. Sometimes it is visible, sometimes not. Yeah, here. If I tab away and come back, rate limits weekly 95% already. And the 5-hour limit is at 83%. It looks like it had found all my API keys and stuff like that and is trying to deploy that to Cloudflare. So we'll wait a few more minutes and come back. So the deployment is done. Took about 45 minutes. It started at 5:10. It's now 5:55. It did a bunch of stuff. It is reporting that the app is now deployed. Let's check our project file to see what has been done already. Review reply. Response generator analysis completed. App is deployed and accessible via the URL. Do we have the URL here? Yes, deployment target. Let's copy that and go to, I'm not hopeful, but if it works, no, it doesn't work. We may have to open in a separate browser. Maybe it is cached. Yes, it is cached, but there are front-end issues here. Sign in. This is actually not so bad. Front-end is nice actually. It's demo build, local business reply engine, live triage, needs response. It's not bad actually. There may be some corrections needed like these styling settings here. Find the business, see what needs attention, generate, copy and save. Built for the pricing gap, not the enterprise bloat. The research found a clear hole. Okay, it is not actually doing the differentiation between the research report. This should be its response to me. Should not have included that in the final landing page, so it may need a little bit more back and forth, but let's see our token usage. That is actually pretty impressive. It's efficient, I guess, if it works fully. But so weekly 93%, 5-hour limit, that is at 78%. I think it's 2x rate limits now. and maybe that helps as well. It has written unit tests as well. It has done much more than what Claude Code agents would. Let's see if it works actually. Try the dashboard. This is not bad at all. Let's see if my magic link authentication works. It looks like it is working. Let me check my inbox. Yep, there is the email. Click on sign in. Convex not configured. Let's take a screenshot and go to Codex, drag it there and send it. So that is also finished. Probably the Convex configuration is done properly now. We will check that. When I refresh that page, nothing happens really. What we will do is to instruct Codex to use playwright interactive test skill. It is also running a tail on my logs for that app, which I haven't seen Cloud Code or Opus 4.6 do that. I'm pretty impressed with 5.4 so far. Go to skills, search for playwright interactive. This is a skill that we are going to install. That is installed now, and let's read through this. Okay, you just have to type that into the chat. These are all custom skills. We can select playwright interactive and maybe say browse the deployed app, verify everything works. Update the project file as well after that, and we will wait to see what happens. We still have some more tokens left, I think 91%. It's interesting. It is the rate limit is actually decreasing. So the window keeps shifting, not like Cloud Code. It's not set from a start point and end point. I think the start point continuously is shifting, because otherwise this wouldn't make sense. It was 93, now it is 91. 5-hour limit was 83. It is now 70, so it's not fixed in point. The start of the window is not fixed, which probably is a very good thing. I may actually switch. And the front end is not actually bad. If we check the front end, that's probably my prompting issue as well. Front end generated by Claude Code, it's not that great, but it was one-shotted. There was no back and forth. But again, GPT 5.4 is also one-shotted. It loaded the front end design skill at the appropriate time. I think it's good at loading the skills at the correct times. Claude Code has serious competition now. I'm not sure what it is doing. JS REPL isn't exposed as in this Codex session. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? I'm just going to ask it, copy that. What does this mean and how will I enable it? Maybe I will need to restart it, but let's ask it. Steer. The thing is that it is very persistent, Codex and GPT 5.4. It doesn't actually stop at an obstacle and report back to me that it can't do it. It looks like I need a restart after editing this file. So let's do that and come back to the prompt. So I have now restarted the app. I'll tell it, I have now restarted the app. Can you try again? And I will select the playwright interactive again, extra high, and send that. It is starting after reading a bunch of skills. Set up Playwright in the app workspace and confirm browser runtime is available. Run desktop functional and visual QA on landing, login, redirects, and SEO pages. Attempt authenticator dashboard QA and review generation flow using real or recoverable login path. If this works, I may be switching to GPT 5.4, or maybe I'll still be using Cloud Code as my personal OS. I may switch to GPT 5.4 because it is doing all the verification and everything. So another thing is that this playwright interactive skill is portable. I had symlinked earlier the skills directory. I should be technically able to see that skill in my .Claude. Yes, so it is available for my Claude agents as well. I will test it with Claude agents as well, the same skill. I can't actually see the browser, so I'm thinking that it is running in the background somewhere. It's probably a headless browser. It is doing a lot of refresh for some reason. You can see the screen flickering. Let's come back to this. So it was running the browser in headless mode, and now it is actually clicking through things, but it hasn't actually detected the styling issues. I had to prompt it to restart in headed mode. Let's see how it solves the magic link testing, if it can at all. If this doesn't work, we will just manually test it. This is still good. Testing is now complete. The live app is now working at that address. I verify the core production flow in the live convex environment. It figured out how to log in through Magic Link. I have also fixed the blank authenticated dashboard bug. Go to Safari. So the dashboard is now loading and it had actually tested all this. All this was not there. These are actually proper Google Maps places. Blue Bottle Coffee, 115 Sansom Street. Blue Bottle Coffee. Wow. Is an actual business in California. It has actually pulled in the reviews. Okay, I'm really impressed with Codex. And it is very persistent. It doesn't give up like Claude Code will. Claude Code will give up after some time. It is clever, but it will give up at some point. This has now worked. You can see that it is 7:35. It has worked for another hour continuously to fixing this. Of course, there are still a few things that needs to be addressed, like the front end styling issues. Coffee shop London, that does actually work. What happens if I click on that? Then it changes the active business and the reviews. Professional, grateful. So it has added that to saved businesses. If I go back to another saved business, it does actually switch back. You have tone notes, you have banned phrases, signature guidance, save brand profile, save drafts. I'm actually very impressed. I may be. And I haven't actually run out of context either. After an hour of continuous working, I still have my weekly at 85 and 5-hour limit at 50%. But this is really impressive. Let's try generating a reply. But it doesn't have any review per se. It has only the stars. It doesn't have any review like that. Can I do 2 at a time? Generate reply? Probably not. Oh, okay. That has come back. Thank you so much for your kind words. Can I generate reply for that? So the next thing would be to automatically post to your GMB listing. Thank you for the wonderful 5-star review. We are so glad. So it has the M dashes. So let's see, banned phrases. No M dashes. Save brand profile. And if I refresh that, that stays, that works. Regenerate. Will it remove the M dash? No, it doesn't. Maybe that is not properly integrated or tested. But let's go back to our project file and see what it has done. Review, reply, outcome. SEO pages are navigatable from the home page. That's something that I added later. It has some SEO pages, how to respond to Google reviews without sounding. It's not great because it's just a templated page. Back to landing page, back to home page. There is still room for some back and forth. What I usually do is that I don't do a lot of back and forth. I just add the checkboxes here in the project file, and then I ask it to address these from the project file. Then it is more or less like a one shot, but you don't have to do these constant back and forth. But that's pretty impressive actually. It has a good activity log, project created from user script notes. Yeah, all the fixes done, everything is here. Code tracking. That's great actually. I'm actually pretty impressed with this. And the skill as well, playwright interactive, but it does by default in headless mode, so I didn't get to see a lot of the things that it was actually doing, but that's all right. The token efficiency is real, I think. Real. 1 million context window, again, it compacted, so I don't think it by default uses the 1 million context window. Claude Opus also supports 1 million token, so maybe you have to enable it explicitly for that to work. And the computer use capabilities, it does work really well with that skill, especially. Pricing, again, the window keeps shifting and my usage keeps going down. So there is something going on there, different kind of windowing mechanism with Codex app. I'm not obviously running multiple instances of Codex app like I do in Claude Code and Agent Teams, but still the usage is balanced out. It doesn't start from a set point in time and then I have to wait until a week for it to reset. The start point seems to shift. Coding quality, unit tests, everything is working, so I'm just amazed by GPT-5.4. And it is very persistent and added some of the nice to have features like the tone selection and brand guidance selection, the brand profile feature. And the app is much more functional than the app that was created by Claude Code. This one, maybe, user error there, not sure, but if it is user error, I pretty much gave the same workflow to Codex, and it did a fantastic job with 5.4, GPT 5.4. I think you should definitely try it out, 5.4 with Codex. Even with $20, you can get a lot done. So this is my community AI makers. I'm adding all this Claude code training and all the custom skills that I used to run my own business, lead outreach, email personalization, LinkedIn outreach, all that is available there. And I am continuously updating it, and you can check it out. If you're a business owner growing with AI, building a SaaS, I'm also teaching vibe coding over there. Be sure to check it out. All the resources attached with this video and the previous videos that I've done are available there already. You also have access to a ton of innate and automations. Check it out. Also, if you have any question, or if you want me to make a specific video, let me know in the comments. And I'll see you in the next one. Also subscribe if you want more of this. I'll show you what actually works in production every day with real systems.